This is the Everything Weight Loss podcast with Shari Ware, where we talk about everything, all things, anything to do with weight loss, health, and wellness. And today, I'm going to give you some mindset hacks that are going to make making healthy changes a whole lot easier. How good does that sound? So, once again, I have some really fancy visual aids, and you're going to have to excuse my writing on this first one because I had to find a pen that worked, and that was a bit tricky. But once I did the first one, it got a whole lot easier. Just like these healthy changes are going to be easier for you. So the first mindset hack I'm going to tell you about is focus on adding in rather than taking out. So often when we're trying to make healthy changes, we automatically think about, okay, what do we need to take out or what do we need to stop? And that automatically makes it seem harder because a lot of times some of those things are things that we really like to do. However, a much easier way to start is looking at things that you can add in to your lifestyle or to your life that you're not currently doing that you know is going to help you to become healthier. So, for instance, it could be if you're not getting enough sleep, getting some more Z's. Making sure that you're getting at least 6 hours sleep if that's not something that you're already doing. It could be that you are very aware that you're probably not getting enough fruits and vegetables in your nutrition. So it could be as simple as adding in a smoothie, a green smoothie, or some kind of smoothie that's going to give you a whole lot of vegetables and fruit in one easy serve that, especially in this busy lifestyle that we have, you could actually be having that on the go if that's something that's going to help you. What can you add in that's going to help you become healthier? Because as you become healthier, it's also going to help you, it's going to give you motivation, it's going to make you feel better in your body, and that's going to then help you to make the next change, whatever that is going to be for you. Mindset hack number 2. So try harder or make easier. So often when we're trying to make changes, we say things, oh, I just need to try harder. I'm not trying hard enough. Obviously, I'm not trying hard enough. If we focus on how hard we're not trying, that's just a negative cycle that we're getting ourselves into. How about we find ways to make things easier? So whatever change you're trying to work on, asking yourself the question, how can I make this change easier? Is there something that you can attach it to help you remember? If remembering is the issue, can you put it before or after something that you're already doing? Is it something that you need some support for? So if you had a support buddy to help you, could that make it easier for you? Could it be planning, making a plan, as in making a menu plan? Doesn't mean that you have to stick to it 100%, but sometimes one of our biggest struggles is when we're so busy, we don't have a plan in place, and so that might be what makes us get the takeaway on the way home, because we know that we've got nothing prepared at home. It could be something as simple as that. Finding ways to make things easier rather than thinking that we just need to try harder. Mindset hack number 3. Under promise and over deliver. So what I mean by that is, this is actually something that I was taught as a young retail assistant when I used to work at Target, and I've never ever forgotten it, and it's so true, and can be utilised in so many areas of our life. But I'm going to use exercise as an example. So often we decide that we're going to go on this mission with exercise, and we might say something to ourselves like, I haven't been exercising up to now, but I'm going to start going to the gym every day for an hour. And you haven't been doing any exercise at all before that. It's really setting yourself up for failure, because yes, you might be able to do that for a week or two if you even last that long, but because it's not a habit and it might not be something that you like to do, then it's not sustainable. You're not going to keep that up long term. So you want to set the bar at a point where it's low enough that we know that we can absolutely do it no matter what happens in our life, especially when we're starting out. So when it comes to exercise, if you're not currently doing anything, saying something like, okay, I'm going to start walking for 10 minutes 3 times a week. Anywhere in the week, I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk at least 3 times. It's different for everybody, but when you set the bar at a level where you know that no matter what happens, you are going to be able to do that, then what happens is, first of all, when you achieve the goal, you feel good because you've achieved it. You set yourself a task, you set yourself a goal, and you achieved it, so you feel good straight away. The second thing is, you might be out for one of those 10-minute walks and you might think, oh, I've got another 5 minutes or another 10 minutes, and you'll go for a bit longer. You're already out there. So you'll probably find that you will do more than what you set out to achieve, which is going to make you feel even better. So don't set the bar too high, and it's not about not having high enough standards. It's about setting in place a level that you know you can do. So you give yourself that win, because when you give yourself that win, you're going to keep wanting to get that win and you're going to keep progressing. We just need to start somewhere and then build on that. So under promising and over delivering. Number 4, diet. I'm not the first one who came up with this, but when I first saw it, I thought, oh my God, that is so true. I don't think that it's any coincidence that the first 3 letters of the word diet spell die, because I don't know about anybody else, but I know that whenever I have been on a diet in my life, I wasn't very happy about it. It just felt restrictive. It felt hard, and it's not something that you can do forever. Yes, you can do it for a period of time if you're really determined and really motivated, but if it's not something that you like, then it's not something that you're going to want to do forever, and it's also not healthy to do forever. And this is really what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a healthier life. So having a diet-free zone. I am never ever on a diet, ever. Yes, I do have a healthy nutrition plan. Yes, I do watch what I eat. Not saying that I don't have what I call sometimes foods. And for me, those sometimes foods are sometimes foods because I love them and I never want to take them out of my life. However, I know that the quantity that I was eating, say, 11 years ago when I was over 180 kilos was not in the right proportion for my body, and that wasn't healthy. So these days I found a much healthier ratio, a much healthier balance, so I can still have those things in my life. However, I can also live my life and I feel really good in my body. I feel really healthy and energetic, and I love life now, and I want to keep loving life. So yes, I still have sometimes foods, but they're just in a much better ratio, a much better balance, and I'm not on a diet. I don't feel restricted. I don't feel like there's anything that I can't have. And really, if we want to be at our optimal health, then our mindset around loving what we're eating and what we're putting into our body is really important as well, because it's not healthy to have negative thoughts create acid in our body. There's science behind that, and that's another podcast episode. But it is just as unhealthy if we don't like what we're doing. And we're not saying that we should never do anything that we don't like. There is a place for that, but it's all about balance. Once again, it's about balance in the right proportion. So diet-free zone, healthy nutrition plan, whatever you want to call it, that's completely up to you, but no diets. Language. So important. That's why when I work with people, I say weight release. We're on a weight release plan or a weight release journey. When I'm marketing, I use the term weight loss because that's what people are searching for. However, what happens when we lose something? If we lose our keys, we want to go find them again. We don't want to find the weight again. So we don't want to lose it. We don't want it coming back. We want to release it. When you release something, you're happy to let it go. And that's part of the work that we need to do on our subconscious is being happy and willing and free to let it go. So language is very important. Our subconscious brain, our subconscious mind is always listening. So thinking about the way that we're talking to ourselves, thinking about the language that we're using and what we're saying to ourselves is really, really important. Things like the word should. When we say that we should have done something, we automatically make ourselves wrong. And that's a negative space once again. We could have, just say, we're saying, oh, I should have eaten better today. Well, that's putting you in a negative place. We could have eaten better today, and tomorrow we can eat better, or we will eat better, however you want to phrase it. But should is one of those words that definitely should be taken out of our vocabulary. Just things like that. Be very aware of the impact that language has on our subconscious mind, and quite often that is what is driving our behaviour. In fact, that is what drives our behaviour all the time, whether we realise it or not, is our subconscious mind. Last one, last but not least, choose. We can have the perspective that we can't eat the muffin because we'll gain weight. Or we could have the perspective that we're choosing not to eat the muffin today because it's not in our plan, or it's not going to get me to that goal that I'm trying to get to, or it's not going to give me the balanced nutrition that I want today. But it's not about we can't do this, or we can't do that, or we can't have this because of. We get to choose every single thing that we do, and when we see it as a choice, that gives us so much more power. That's us taking our power back. We get to choose. So choosing to stick to our healthy nutrition plan because that's going to make us feel really good, and we know that that's going to make us feel really good. Or it's not about having to exercise. We're choosing to exercise because we know that that's really good for our health. Or we're choosing to go and get a massage because we know that we've got a lot of stress in our lives and we need to reduce some of that stress. So seeing everything as a choice, because everything in life is choice, and seeing it as a positive thing is another choice. We get to choose whether we're going to make it positive or negative.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Remember to check out the show notes, and if you have any comments, feedback or suggestions, I'd love to hear them. If you've received value from this podcast, make sure to subscribe, and I'd love you to rate and review the show. Have a fabulous day.